Verse, look at verse 10. It says, all the people, high and low, gave Simon their attention, and they said he had divine power. Right? Well, how many people said he had divine power?
All the people.
All the people. What kind of people?
Good, bad, everybody.
It says there,
All people.
high and low people. Right? Now, I don't know what high and low means.
Status.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably a, some kind of socioeconomic position or perceived worth, right? I'm pretty sure I'm on the low. I'm on the low end of the. I'm not the high people. Old Brad's low people. I'm just a regular, run of the mill guy. But listen, I read that all the people, high and low, gave Simon their attention, and they said he was connected with God. So I asked a question, what is something that, high people and low people have in common?
Death.
Yeah, and they have a curiosity about spiritual stuff. It doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor, right? God made all of us with a hole in our heart for Him, a desire in our heart for Him. And so it don't matter if you're high or you're low, socioeconomically or whatever. Everybody has an interest in spiritual stuff, but everybody's able to be misled. So it doesn't matter if who you are. You're created by God. You have a desire in your heart for Him, but you're also able to be misled, because here's these people. Let's say the high people are the educated people. The high people are the people with money. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Probably right. But even rich people can be misled. Right? So even rich people can have a desire for God, but even rich people, well-off people can be misled. So you can either be a genius or a moron, and you're capable of being misled. I wanted to point out 1 Corinthians 2 and verse 14 in light of this. 1 Corinthians 2:14 says, the man without the Spirit does not accept the things that come from the Spirit of God. Those things are foolishness to him. He can't understand them because they are spiritually discerned. So you got people outside of Christ. So when someone who is outside of Christ, someone who's not born again, someone who's rejected Christ, is unable to discern truth. So they got Simon, this sorcerer guy. It's no wonder everybody was flocking to him. We have this desire for God in us. It's put there by God. And so we start following that to something that looks like God. In this case, it was Simon the sorcerer.
That makes a lot of sense. I just thought about, like, was it the Egyptians praising the sun?
Yeah.
And the moon. So, I mean, I guess that makes sense if you've never, if you don't know anything else. You got the sun. You've learned that the sun grows the food, and the sun. You think the sun is God, or is you're praising the sun to come up again the next day.
We're looking for something greater than ourself.
Uh,
And so that's why they worship the sun. That's what Paul said in Romans. But the good thing, the good news about, I mean, this is why we have so many different religions. And this is why there's you just have so many beliefs, and they all believe in something spiritual, but there's so many different religions. Just because they're all different don't mean they're all right. In fact, it's more probable that if everybody's claiming exclusivity, if everybody's claiming to be the way, but yet when you look at their tenets, there's such a great variety of things that are true. The conclusion is that it's more probable that we're all wrong than that everybody is right. I mean, everybody who claims clearly diametrically opposed ideas can't be right because they're opposed to each other. And so we conclude that it's more probable that we're all wrong than that everybody who claims completely different ideas is actually right, because those ideas contradict each other. So here we have God in us. He put a desire for him in us. You got these people honoring Simon the sorcerer. And we've got Paul saying in 1 Corinthians 2 that a man outside of Christ can't see the things of Christ because they're spiritually discerned. But the encouraging word I kind of want to leave with you guys is that we're able, and you're going to say, when I say this, you're going to say, oh, you told us that 100 times. Yeah, well, there's a reason for that. There's a reason we keep telling each other that we can grow. And that's the encouraging word. That this guy, Simon, if he was born again or not, I don't know. But we are able to grow. That's why we have these conversations. It's just clear that you can come to Jesus from wherever you are in your life, but you don't have to stay that way. It's okay to not be okay. It's just not okay to stay that way. We're free to grow. We're free to keep following. We're free to come to Christ, even with our baggage, even with our problems. We come to him. That's what the world needs to know, that they can come to Jesus just like they are. But as you continue to follow, you quit making excuses for sin. You want to grow in your personal holiness. You want to grow closer to becoming like Christ. And that's Hebrews 5:14 says that we grow in our senses. We train our senses. And this is how, y'all write that verse down, Hebrews 5:14. We train our senses so that we can see with spiritual eyes, and we can hear with spiritual ears. And we're having these ongoing healthy conversations, and we're training. David, just like training an athlete, right? Just like us coaching. We're training them. We're training a wrestler, or in your case, a cheerleader, to be able to sense and know and feel. And we're just like we train their muscles, the four of us are training our senses, our spiritual senses, to know, to hear when someone says a half-truth, when someone says Jesus was a good man. Well, that's just that. If that's all you think he is, that's completely wrong. But if you think that's part of what he was, I can hear a half-truth. I can hear a complete lie, and I want to train my senses so that I can hear and discern a half-truth. So this thing with Simon, I don't know if he was born again. I don't know. But the encouraging word is that we can grow we can come to Christ as we are, where we are in our life. And a sign of an authentic Christian, a person who's really, truly born again, is they are not going to want to continue. They might do it, but they're not going to want to continue to make excuses for their sin or for being immature. I mean, that's what Romans 12, 1 and 2 says. So y'all need to write that verse down too. First Corinthians 2:14, Hebrews 5:14, Romans 12, 1 and 2. I'm continuing to grow. I'm presenting my mind and my body to Christ so that I can grow. And so, Alan, that's a great question. I thought about that myself with this Simon guy. But the encouraging word for you, for us as men who are following Jesus, is that we can continue to follow, we can grow. And the encouraging word for the guys that you're going to be pouring into is the same thing. It's all right, man. You put your arm around them, you say, we're going to follow Jesus together.